Welcome back once again everyone, I'm Capsuleers Games, this is EVE Online, and you join me in our career agent station. We have finished the new player tutorial, and we're about to start the advanced tutorial, so let's just dive in and do the very first one. And the first one we're going to do is the Enforcer, which is the player versus environment combat agent. Okay, these are not voiced, this is what he looks like, even though that doesn't have any bearing on anything. And apparently there are some Guristas pirate thugs harassing miners in an asteroid belt and we need to go and kill them. So we have to, the objectives are clear the pirates from the asteroid belt, and the rewards we will be given is a 75mm Gatling Railgun Mark 1 and 2,000 rounds of ammunition to put in said weapon. The location is in this solar system, so that's nice, so we'll just accept.
Now, let's tidy up our display, shall we? Close the agency and agent conversation windows.
I closed the agency ages ago, dear.
Career agents offer adventures designed to hone your skills. AIR has provided a skill plan unique to each agent to assist with your progress. Since we always want to have a skill in training, let's dive into one of those plans.
Okay, now we're being prompted to open the skill panel because we have no skills training.
Since you have accepted the Enforcer's mission, you should select the Enforcer career path.
Not a bad idea.
For your chosen career path, you will want to train the AIR Enforcer skill plan.
You don't have to do this.
You can view the contents of each skill plan by selecting the, aptly named, Show Skill Plan Contents button. All good Capsuleers will always have a skill in training. And you are a good Capsuleer, are you not? To prove to me what a good Capsuleer you are, add the skills to your queue and begin training them.
Okay, this particular skill plan will take 4 days, 12 hours to complete, because as we see it has quite a lot of skills. Some of them only take an hour, this one's 14 hours, this one's 7, that one's 1 day, 17 hours, 24 minutes. Missile Launcher Operation Mark 4, wow, that's quite advanced. And these are the things it's going to unlock. It unlocks other skills and gives us some of these modules and other things. So I'm just going to click Start Training.
Using skill plans to guide your progression will make your life easier and prove rewarding. As you explore different career opportunities, you will find skill plans tailored to match your evolving goals.
So yes, we will have it as our tracked plan, which is this outer thing here. So close this.
Career agents will sometimes reward Capsuleers with new ships. It is wise to have the skills required for those ships in your training queue.
Which I think we do, because as we see here, the icons next to the name of the skill shows you that it unlocks something. So Missile Launcher Operation Rank 2 will unlock the Light Missile skill, Auto-Targeting Missile skill, Target Navigation Prediction skill, and Rapid Launch skill. And Caldari Frigate Mark II will unlock some ships in the form of a Griffin Navy issue, Heron Navy issue, and Caldari Navy Hookbill. And this icon means that this particular skill will unlock all these modules and equipment. So 4 days, 11 hours, 41 minutes is quite a long time. I'm not sure the tutorial is going to take that long.
We're almost ready to embark on our new adventure. Now is the perfect time to close any windows you no longer need on your display.
So one way to progress through this is to earn some unallocated skill points. As we know, we can apply these to an entire queue and save some time. I'm sure we'll be granted lots of that.
Details regarding the mission you accepted from the career agent are displayed on the info panel.
Yes, you can read your mission details here at any time, in case you forget what you're supposed to be doing.
Mission briefing, objectives, and rewards. Should you ever need to be reminded of any of those details, you can always check the info panel.
This icon here is quite important at higher level missions. This tells you who you're going to be fighting, and pretty much all NPC factions are weak to one type of damage and deal a couple of types of damage, so you can tailor your ship to be really good against these specific targets. We don't really need to concentrate that hard on it at the minute because we're new and the ships we're going to be fighting are really weak.
I must say, Captain, you've handled yourself remarkably well. Though there are thousands of copies of Aura in New Eden, I am glad to be your Aura. Have I said too much? My sentimentality protocols may need adjusting. Now, it's time for you to venture out into the stars. Go forth and show New Eden what you are truly made of.
Alright, and Aura is gone. And we suddenly got dumped with lots of stuff, including the chat box. Now, chat is always open. I'll just rejig it a little bit. Corporation is our guild chat, and as we know, we are a rookie, so this is an NPC rookie chat, which is why it's full of advertising spam and scams. Local is everyone who is in your local system, and as always, that is also full of chat spam. I'm just gonna get rid of chat because we don't really need it at the moment. Usually it's good to have at least local chat out at all times so you can see everyone who is in your system. Let's just drag this bar so the names are bigger than the chat box. This is the current event. We do not need to know about that, so we can minimize it here. There should be a button up here to completely get rid of that, but it's not there for some reason. This is also the event. We don't need that, so we'll just minimize that. Before we unlock, we're going to have a look at some of these things, these icons which have orange things, which mean we have something to look at. So this is your daily login campaigns. You will get these every time you log in. Once per day you will get a free gift just to incentivize you to come back and play the game. So we'll just click on that, and we've got a starter defensive module crate, and this is the current event. Might as well claim it even though it's going away in 20 hours. So we have something in our redemption window, and the redemption window is here, or the hotkey is Alt and Y. This is all the things you have to redeem. So let's redeem it to the current station. Now this one, we don't know where we got this from. Well, I do. I'll explain that in a moment. You can select one gift at a time, or select them all by clicking and dragging, or pressing select all. So we'll redeem them all to the current station. And we've been given a starter gift of a defensive module crate, which comes with a shield repairing module, looks like. Okay, let's open this container then. And we have another container to open, which is part of the winter event. So we'll just open that. Here we are, we've been given some free things. Now these expert systems are essentially renting skills. And this is the expert system we have been granted. Now this is the main skills page. This should really be in the skills page, but for some reason they've put it on the character sheet, but I digress. Okay, grey dots means we do not know this skill yet. White squares are skills which we know and have trained that level of, so we have controlled burst level 2. The blue lines under it are what this expert system has given us. So for the next 2 days, 23 hours, 58 minutes and 57 seconds, we have all these skills at these levels, which are over and above what we have previously trained, and even over and above what skills we have permanently learned. So in 2 days, 23 hours, 58 minutes and 39 seconds, all these will revert back to the level they are at on the white squares. Blue squares are skill levels which we have in our current training queue. As we see, this expert system has given us a lot of skills, like an awful lot of skills. If we want to keep these skills, we're going to have to train them ourselves, otherwise they're just going to go away. But that's good, because that means for the duration of this entire mini-series, we're going to have all these skills available to us, which is pretty nice. You can buy expert systems with cash, but because they only last a few days, it is essentially renting skills. Good if you're a new player and you only play in the weekends, you can just rent skills for a couple of days. Okay, this is a cash offer. Special offers. When you click this, it will take you to the website, and then you log in and get your personalised rewards. We don't care about that stuff. Okay, this Air Career Programme. You're not signposted to this Air Career Programme, and you probably should be. Okay, again, it's open full screen. I'm going to change it to floating so it's not huge. And there we are. This is also kinda sorta a tutorial in its own. What we have is very similar things to the career agents, as we see Enforcer, Industrialist, Soldier of Fortune and Explorer. This Industrialist one will do both of the Industrialist career agents, and the way this works is that you just click on the career you're doing, make it a bit wider so that it's not all crap. Okay, and we will gain points and rewards for doing things we're going to be doing anyway. So we have begun this, the career agent mission of Enforcer. So when we complete mission 1, we'll just click on it. we will be rewarded with 25,000 ISK and 10 career points. And as we accrue these career points, they will accrue down here. As we see, when we reach different thresholds of them, we will earn a very large amount of skill points, which will speed us through this skill plan which we're doing. So if we can get 3,000 career points, we'll get 125,000 skill points. If we get 750, we'll get 50,000. These are additive. It's not like you get 50,000 for getting 750, then another 25,000 when you reach 1,500 career points. You get 50,000 and 75,000 and 100,000 and 125. So as well as getting rewards for doing each and every task, you get overall progress, you get skill points from this. You just click in the middle to go back one step. So, security agent. Complete some level 1 security missions. Easy stuff. Combat. Destroy 100 enemy ships. We've destroyed 2 ships because we killed 2 things in the tutorial, so we're already part of the way through that. So we'll get 25,000 ISK and a skill book and 10 more career points when we kill 100 things, and it will not take very long to kill 100 things at all. In fact, it will not take long to kill 300 things at all. So you don't need to concentrate too hard on doing any of this air stuff. You will just do it passively. If you do the career agents, you'll pretty much just get lots and lots of rewards from this all the time. As we see, we do already have 2 unclaimed rewards, and apparently we entered a combat site and we've got 25,000 ISK and 10 career points, so we'll claim that. And we lost 1 ship, which is part of the Soldier of Fortune one. We get 12,500 ISK and 5 career points. So there we go. Just by doing nothing, we've got some career points, which is quite nice. Again, we have to redeem these things which we have claimed, so we'll just redeem them. Yes, please. That's the money in the wallet. And now we can undock and actually start the tutorial. Okay, we do not want the Winter Nexus. Okay, we can actually get rid of it by clicking this icon up here, which will remove the icon from here. We don't want the chilling spree either. We don't really need the search bar active. We don't really need to know all the information about our system. Route, we don't have anything planned, so we'll just get rid of it just now. Agent missions is what we need. You can right click in space and select agent missions and encounter and work to it this way, or you can just click this big button up here. Let's do that. This is a notification feed. This will annoy the hell out of you forever, so let's just click notification settings and turn absolutely everything off. I mean, some notifications are actually worth having. But I'm just going to get rid of all of them, because they're just going to be nothing but a distraction. That's better. Off they go. It will notify you about the most stupid things by default. Oh, here's an enemy here. So let's just approach this guy. Turn the afterburner on to approach him a little bit quicker. We're not close enough to target him at the minute. What is our targeting range? 30 kilometers. There's multiple ways to target things. You can left click to select it, and when you get within range you can click lock target, or you can hold control and left click the target here, like so. Or you can hold control and draw a box in space and it will target everything within the box. At the minute we didn't have to do that because we only had 1 target. Let's mouse over our weapon, see what our range is. Optimal range is 5,520 meters. Optimal meaning we have the best chance to hit at that range. At the fall off range, your chance to hit falls off to 50%, so it's usually better to try and stay within optimal range. If you get too close though, it will become more difficult to hit because your turret won't be able to turn fast enough to keep the target lined up. Which is where orbit comes in. Ideally you want your orbit to be somewhere around your optimal range, so we'd like that to be something around 5,000 kilometers, so we'll right click this orbit button, change the default, and we'll change it to 4,500. These are things that the game should tell you, but it doesn't. Okay, we have 2 enemies, and it looks like they're both within targeting range, so I'm going to hold control, draw a box in space, and release, and target everything. I think because we're a new character we can only target 2 things at a time maximum anyway. Okay, let's just approach this one. One other button you can use instead of orbit is keep at range. Orbit makes you fly in a circle around the target. Keep at range will keep you lined up with the target, which makes your guns have to turn less. Because if we're orbiting this guy and he's orbiting us, we're going to be spiraling around each other, which means our guns are going to have to keep turning, which means they're going to be pretty difficult to hit. At the moment we seem to be doing fairly well. Okay, let's just orbit this guy and turn on our weapon. And we'll chip away at this guy. So far we haven't missed with any of our shots, which is quite nice. Which means that our orbit path is pretty good. They're missing us, but we're hitting them. Okay, one more enemy. Let's just approach it. As we do that, I'm going to come down here to the HUD options in the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to into the moving mode for the messages, and I'm just going to move the damage scroll here and then get rid of it. Just going to zoom out so I can have a look at the wrecks. Yeah, this wreck here has no loot in it. This one does, and this one does. So before we leave this site, I will fly around and loot them. You're never quite sure what you might find. Might be something good, might be something terrible. But at the minute, we need every single thing we can. I think I'll change the keep it range to something between our optimal range and follow, so say 6,000 kilometers. Just right click the button, set to default, call it 6,000, and we'll use keep it range on this target. This will keep us lined up with this target, so we should hit them every single time. Outstanding. Okay, and the mission reckons it's complete, but I'm going to click on the wrecks icon and just have a look in all these wrecks before we leave. Hey, we got close enough to the first wreck, and we have some ammunition and some metal scrap, so we'll just take everything. Then we'll approach the other one. It's fairly close. And this has an ECM and some more ammunition, so we'll take that. Okay, we'll just click dock and go back to the station, hand this mission in, and get the next one. And we're going to click on the general overview tab. You do have to keep track of which overview tab you have active, otherwise you won't be able to see things you may need to see, like things that are shooting at you. Okay, we're back. One or two other things of housekeeping we're going to do. We're going to turn off the music because it's really annoying. Go to settings, audio, turn that crap off. Going to turn off the combat music, turn on quieter weapon sounds. And we're going to go in display and graphics, turn off the camera bobbing because it's extremely annoying. And we're going to turn off depth of field because that's also very annoying. What depth of field does, that is the ridiculous tilt shift thing we had in the stations. I mean, someone put a lot of work into making the station interior look nice, and then they invented depth of field and blurred it all out for some stupid reason. Anyway, enough complaining, let's hand in the mission. And we're going to get a railgun and some ammunition, and there they are. And now we're being told about the air carrier program. Okay. Wow, we've been given lots of things. Let's just claim them all. God knows where they all came from. Increase your standings with a corporation. Increase your standings with a corporation. Okay, we've got lots of crates for no reason, but you know, that's the way it goes. Let's just make this smaller again so it's not giant. Unfortunately, this is as small as it gets. It's just going to be giant forever now, apparently. Okay, wow, okay, lots of skill books and stuff. Let's redeem them all to this station, thank you. Now, what injecting a skill does is it destroys the item and it will put the skill in your skill sheet at level 0. So we'll just select them both, inject them, off they go. And speaking of that, you find these not in the skill plan section, but the skill catalogue section of the skill interface. Okay, we're going to have to filter all this. So, at the minute it's showing all skills. Yellow ones are Omega, which require a subscription. Anything which is not available to us is marked with a yellow dot. So, we could have Heavy Drone Operation, levels 1, 2 and 3, but we cannot have levels 4 and 5 because they are disabled for alpha free-to-play players. So let's just come up here and select My Skills, which only shows us our own skills. This is the various skill categories. I don't think we have any... Now, I think one of the skills we had was social. Yeah, we've injected the skill, so it's here on our sheet at level 0. We've been granted level 3 of it by our expert system, which lasts a few days, so there's no real pressing issue to train this at the moment. It is giving us slightly more standing increase, which is reputation with the agent. We have not earned any unallocated skill points to finish this Air Caldari Enforcer skill plan, but you will notice that every single level of it, apart from Energy Upgrades 2, has the blue lines under it, which means that we've been granted that by our expert system. So we've pretty much got everything other than Energy Upgrades 2 and Energy Upgrades 3. So what we could do is click and drag these and move them to the top of the skill queue, like so. So they will now be trained first, before everything else in the skill plan. Anyway, let's get the next mission. Cashflow for Capsuleers, 2 out of 10. Acquire these goods. 1 times unit of civilians, and it will take up 5 cubic meters of cargo space. And he wants us to bring him back to this station, and the encounter is happening in this solar system. And if we complete this mission, we're going to be given a Merlin, which is a proper combat frigate, which is really rather nice, and 248,000 ISK, which is huge. So let's accept that, and close this, and undock. Again, we'll just use the big button, warp straight to the location. Now on the overview, I'm going to go to options in the top right and enable compact mode, just so we can fit more information into a smaller space and have slightly less wasted space. We're going to click and drag this over here, so we have more room for names and less room for velocity. And I think I'll make the actual window itself a little bit smaller so we can see what we're doing. Okay, there's 3 bad guys here. Seems to be 1 up here and 2 down here. So I think we'll go for the 2 first. Hold control, draw a box. They're not close enough, so we're going to have to approach them. Turn the afterburner on. Now, none of the tutorials explain what any of these buttons do. These are the various cameras. There's tactical camera. Orbit camera is like the default one. Tactical overlay is something which is pretty nice. If we turn that on and then zoom out, see this dotted line, this red dotted line is our maximum targeting range, which is pretty nice to know. When you mouse over your weapons, you get 2 circles, the inner one being your optimal range, which is best chance to hit, and the outer red line being the fall-off range, which is 50% chance to hit. These blue arrows are the direction in which something is travelling, and the longer the arrow, the faster it's travelling. So you can get a wealth of information by using the tactical overlay in combat. Anyway, let's keep this guy at range and open fire on him. Nice, that's 1 down. And what we saw there was ISK added to the bounty pool, because if we have a look at these guys, they have a bounty of 3,000 ISK each. Bounty is paid out automatically every 20 minutes. So as you just warp around and kill enemy pirates, you'll get paid for it. And that is a lucrative career, because these guys are only worth 3,000 ISK each, but we've just killed 2 of them. running missions, you will be paid by the agent and given rewards by the agent, and you will also earn bounty by killing all the NPCs. It does rack up really rather quickly. So you can just warp around and find NPC pirates to kill and kill them for the bounty. It's a perfectly valid career to have in EVE Online. You can make rather a lot of money doing that. These guys are barely tickling us. Our shield is like still at 97%. Your shield and your capacitor battery energy will be automatically repaired for free every single time you dock in a station. So that's going to keep us nice and cheap. And the shield and capacitor battery energy also regenerate themselves over time, which we will explain next time we open the fitting screen. Okay, he's dead. His wreck did not drop anything. Let's just keep this next guy at range. You can open fire from way outside your fall-off range. At double your fall-off range, your chance to hit drops to 1%, and it stays at 1%, even way outside it. So as long as you can target something with turreted weapons at least, you can hit it. Just not very often. And that will become a problem when we start using weapons that use ammunition, because this civilian Gatling railgun doesn't use ammunition. And the civilians we needed have automatically teleported themselves on board our ship for some reason. We're going to enable compact mode on that as well. And make the inventory slightly smaller. There we are, we'll just leave that there. Some mission items do teleport themselves onto your cargo, and some others do not. I'm not sure what the rationale behind that is. It mostly just confuses people, because people will think, oh, I can't find the thing I need for the mission, but it's already teleported itself onto your ship. So we'll just click and drag a box to select everything and put everything here in the station item hangar. Double click the agent, complete the mission. Alright, we're now over 1 million ISK, and apparently we've been granted something by the Air Career Program. What have we got? Oh, we've completed mission 2. So we've been given some more stuff. Another 25,000 ISK and more career points. As you see, our overall progress is 115 already. Might as well redeem it, just to keep the cash coming in. Okay, request mission. Acquire these goods, secret documents, drop them back off here at this location. And again, we're just killing more pirates. And this time, we're being given items when we accept the mission. And the rewards is just cash. So we'll accept it. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to move into our new ship. So I'm going to right click our current ship. Select strip fitting, which will remove all the modules from it. And put them in the item hangar here. And then we're going to right click our new ship. Assemble it, because at the minute it was flat packed. And then right click again and make active, or you can double click on it to make it active, or you can click and drag. And here we are. This is a Merlin. This is our first proper combat frigate. What is this? Oh, I see, it's that. Don't want that. That doesn't need to be that big. Don't want that. Okay, we're going to have to fit things to the ship, because at the minute it has nothing inside it. In fact, I am going to stop the pop-up on that. Where is it? Wallet settings. Don't care about life balance updates. See, here's our first bounty payment. We got 27,000 ISK because we killed 9 times Pithy Alligator that were worth 3,000 ISK each. So, NPC bounty is indeed paid out automatically every 20 minutes. So, how are we going to fit the ship? Well, open the fitting panel, obviously. There we are. And this time we are going to click this attributes thing to expand it this way. As I said, the capacitor and the shield do repair themselves over time. As we see, we have 420 gigajoules of capacitor battery energy, and that goes from 0 to 420 over the course of 148.75 seconds, which gives us an average of 7.1 gigajoules a second. The capacitor is stable, which means it can run everything which is fitted to the ship forever, because we have nothing fitted to the ship. Likewise, if we go down to defense, our shield, we have 600 total shield hit points, and that goes from 0 to 600 over the course of 531 seconds. And if you click this one here and change it to passive shield recharge, this shows us that that will be an average of 2 hit points a second. Not great. These are the resistances to the various types of damage. There are 4 of them. There's EM, thermal, kinetic, and explosive. Luckily for us, we are fighting Guristas and they fire kinetic, so we are absorbing and negating 50% of their kinetic damage, on our shield at least. If they whittle down our shield and move through to their armour, we'll only be negating 25% of that. We can have a maximum of 5 locked targets on this ship. If we have the skills for it, we can check that by going up here to the skills catalogue and looking in the targeting thing. Target management is how many targets you can have locked. 2 is the base, so we have 2 base plus 3 levels of that, so we can indeed target 5 things at once, which is nice. So anyway, let's fit some guns to this thing, shall we? It looks like we have 3 75mm Gatling Railgun 1. I'm just going to right click in empty space in the item hanger and stack everything. Yes we do, and they take up a high slot, and they need a turret slot. And what we see here are turret slots. So we can fit 3 75mm Gatling Railgun 1s to this ship, which is excellent. That's all the high slots filled. Now these do require ammunition, otherwise we won't be able to fire. We have a lot of antimatter charge S, so we'll drag that into the ship to automatically load it in all the weapons. And we have to open the cargo hold of the ship and carry extra ammunition in the ship so we can reload in space, otherwise bad things will happen when we run out of ammunition. Okay, we have 4 spare mid-power slots, and mid-power slots are things with 2 dashes like this. The civilian afterburner is not great, but at the minute our speed is only 372. Whoops, we'll just click and drag that into place. When we mouse over it, that will then boost our maximum velocity to 606. And the capacitor has gone down a little bit because hybrid weapons use capacitor to fire, and so does the afterburner. But we're still stable, so we can run them all forever, which is nice. Then we also have this small clarity ward enduring shield booster, which will fix our shields in exchange for using quite a lot of capacitor. And we can change the defense here to show the shield boost rate. So when this is on, this will repair 15 hit points a second, as long as we have capacitor to do it. And what's this saying? Incomplete skills. Yes, I know we don't have the skills for that. We should have the skills for that. Yes, we've been granted that skill by our expert system, so we do have the skills for that. The game is just saying, watch out, when your expert system expires, you will no longer have the skills for this. But that's fine, we don't care about that. We don't need to fit any of this other nonsense to this ship. And that'll be more than good enough. Now if you click simulate, the ship will change to a wire model, and the modules will go green. This allows you to toggle the activation of the modules and see what effect it has on the capacitor. So if we toggle it to red, that is overheated, which will give it extra performance at the cost of generating heat, and heat can damage and destroy your modules, and you'll have to come back to station to get them fixed. That means it's offline, so it's not consuming any CPU or power grid, but it cannot be used. That is it online, ready to be used, but not turned on. So when this is not turned on, we know that we can use the afterburner and all the guns at the same time forever. And when we're using the shield booster, we can only use it for 1 minute 16 before we run out of capacitor energy and everything turns off. But the capacitor will slowly regenerate itself. So that's good enough. Let's go and do this mission. This should be much easier now we have a proper combat frigate with proper guns. But we do want to make sure we can hit things so we're not wasting ammunition. So mouse over the guns, see what our new optimal range and fall off are. Well, our optimal range is only 3,000 meters now. So I'll right click the orbit button, change that to 2500. These are very small weapons. And I think the keep it range can stay at 6,000. Okay, this is a little bit annoying. We have drones, and this web drone will put a stasis webifier on us and make us move slowly. So as soon as we get within... I'm just going to keep it range. As soon as we get within 6,000 meters, I will then open fire. Red icon means it is indeed webbed us. Let's try and keep it at range. Boom! Hit it. Nice. Okay, and these other guys, they're close enough. We'll just keep them at range. We missed because they were too close for our weapons to track effectively. And as soon as we hit keep it range, we lined ourselves up and hit it and destroyed it in a single hit. And we did the same with this one. This runner drone might be a little bit annoying because it seems to be going really rather fast. We'll do keep it range. Try and keep ourselves lined up with it. Good, that worked. Well, apparently we have the things we need in our cargo, but I'm just gonna go and kill everything here. Yes, the secret documents have indeed teleported themselves into our cargo. There seems to be a destroyer over there, which is rather concerning. Destroyers are very good at destroying frigates, which is what we are. Oh, we absolutely nuked that guy. And that guy. Let's see if we can get all the way over to this thing. The bounty is 22,500 ISK, and I might have some decent loot. Oh, it's disappeared. It's run away. So let's just dock and hand in this mission. To reload your weapons, you can either right click and select reload all, or you can use Ctrl R hotkey. Hybrid weapons only take 5 seconds to reload, so it's always good to do it. You get lots of information when you mouse over it. As we see, we caused 12 thermal damage and 17 kinetic damage each shot with this one gun. Okay, let's hand the mission in. Got all of our money, thank you very much. Let's request the next one. Okay, warp to the dead space area, find the pirate Stargate and approach it. And we're being given a proper Tech 1 afterburner, which will be better than the civilian one we've got, and more money. So let's just go and do that. Okay, we have to approach a Stargate. Aura's warning us it might be a trap, which it probably is, but we'll approach it with our afterburner on just to get there sometime this week. Pretty cool looking location. Very nearly there. Here we are, and what is supposed to happen now? Well, we've approached the smuggler Stargate. Yeah, some nasty stuff is indeed coming through it. And we're taking some damage, so we're just gonna get out of here. And that's that mission complete. Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? I think these missions still need some work. And by some, I mean a lot. Double click the agent, hand in the mission, and get the next one. Okay, and we're being given a civilian kinetic shield hardener when we accept the mission. And we're meeting up with a pirate at the repair outpost and following their instructions, and we're getting paid some cash for doing so, so we'll accept. Close. And now we're going to fit these new things to our ship. So open the fitting window once again. We do have some spare mid-power slots. Now with afterburners and all propulsion modules, you can fit as many as you want, but you can only activate one of them. So as we see, when we mouse over, the 1 meganewton afterburner Mark 1 will put us up to 822 velocity, and that's a lot more than the 606, so we'll get rid of the civilian one. This civilian kinetic shield hardener, when we fit it to the ship, it doesn't seem to do anything. But when we simulate, we will see it adds 32% to our kinetic damage resistance bonus. Now, at the minute it's 50%, and when we turn this on, it jumps to 66. And you might think, well, it says it adds 32, so why is that not 82 now? It's because of the way that damage resistance works. This 32% is 32% of the difference between 100 and our current resist. So our current resist is 50. So we will get 32% of the difference between 50 and 100, which is 16%. So indeed, we go from 50 to 66, because we are getting 32% of the difference between 100 and our current previous resist. So the higher your resistances go, the less you get, and the more difficult it is to raise them higher. This is to stop people becoming completely invincible. But this is pretty nice, because we're fighting Garistas almost all the time, and they fire kinetic damage, and we are now shrugging off 66% of that, which is fantastic. So let's undock and do some more stuff. And just click and drag our modules into place. We'll leave the shield booster over here, because we know that we can only use this sparingly. But the shield hardener can be left on all the time. Because if we go into the fitting window and simulate, we're still cap stable, just because the 1 meganewton afterburner uses more capacitor. But we know that with everything, like the guns firing and the afterburner and the shield hardener on, we can run them forever. The only thing we cannot run forever is the shield repair. Okay, blah blah blah. And the pirates are trying to recruit us. And it's a trial by combat, so we'll just take them up on that and blow up their one cruddy frigate. And we'll just keep it at range, and as soon as we get within 6,000 kilometers, we'll just open fire. And smash it to pieces. This is worth 7,875 ISK. Oh, we managed to miss it completely a couple of times. That's not good. Even though we're keeping it range, so we should be pretty accurate. Much tougher than the previous things we were fighting. No loot. Oh well. And we'll reload the weapons, just because it's always good to have them reloaded. And we might as well just fix up our own shield, even though the station will fix it for us instantly. Okay, let's hand in this mission. Right, and before we request the next mission, I think it's a good time to stop this video. We will, however, check our various rewards in the air system. I think we've got another 3. Yeah, we've completed missions 3, 4 and 5, so we'll just claim them all. Close this and go here and redeem all of our money. Thank you very much. So this is a good place to stop. We've learnt quite a lot. We've killed a few things. We've got our ship fairly decently kitted out. We've got 3 pretty crappy weapons, but they're doing the job. We've got a repair module, a speed module, and we're managing to lower the damage we're taking, at least from Garistas pirates, so it's all looking good. When we come back, we'll do missions 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 and finish the Enforcer career. I hope to see you again for that, and I hope you look after yourself until then. I will talk to you again very soon.